Alrighty, so welcome back. So last video I kind of ended quickly because I was running out of time. I'm trying to chunk these at 15 minutes. And I ended up talking about the My IT Lab and getting you into the chapter quizzes. So let's complete with the chapter quizzes, and if we have time, talk about the hands-on. So turning back to here, if you remember, and you should be able to say to yourself, by the way, we are still doing week 1 classwork, right? So make sure you're taking notes here. This is the chapter quizzes / My IT Lab, so we're continuing those topics. So I left this by saying that the ebook, and you can use your textbook for taking chapter quizzes, and this is the quiz I opened up at the end of last video, right? So in this case, you can go and start answering these questions by either searching the ebook, which is a great way to do it. Not any problem at all with that. Some students tell me, isn't that like cheating? And I'm like, no, because part of our world is finding information, okay? So knowing how to search things is important, but it's also important to read. So understanding a concept is as important as being able to find the information about that concept. So let's go back here though. So on the chapter quizzes, you go through, and most of them are either multiple choice or true false, okay? So I'm just going to go through and simulate, not even looking, and this is the total wrong way to do this. I'm just going to select the first one just to show you how these work in Blackboard, because the thing I've been talking about is how things show up in Blackboard. As I'm doing this, let's review. Classwork shows up as soon as you take and submit the work. Hands-on shows up as soon as you do all the work required as well, right? And quizzes will show up as soon as you submit them. I wasn't doing it, I'm just randomly as I'm talking, so I'm multitasking here. So you should, and by the way, notice it's actually saving each one, which is wonderful. Okay, so this is where you can use the ebook to find the answers, your actual textbook if you have one, and then you hit submit. And it says a couple of them were answered, but that's okay. I probably got horrible on this, total bad example of what to do. And then I'll click OK. All right. So that's your chapter quiz, right? So it tells me, oh my God, I got 8 out of 25. Horrible, horrible, but you're going to do better. So now let's go back, since I was actually reviewing that as I was just clicking them in there. So today we saw how Who's in the House was showing as needs grading because I did what? This is kind of a review. I did the reply to the main post with your information and 2 replies to the students. The week 1 classwork right now is in progress. We haven't completed it right now, okay? But if I scroll down here, I see that my quiz has now been submitted. Okay, and I just jumped to this to show you because you actually don't have a quiz until the 2nd week, but it's just part of the overall classwork because, let me just point through here. So classwork for week 2 is the same idea as week 1, so you know how to do that. Your photo is part of hands-on, which I'll start talking about. Your print screen, part of part of the hands-on, which we'll talk about. So we've covered these concepts, so that's why I've jumped down to here. Now, in the Word Chapter 1 simulation, you should be saying to yourself, oh, that's from My IT Lab. So once you complete those, they may not show up immediately, put that in your notes, but they will show up probably within 24 hours, or if it's over the weekend until Monday when I run the program that brings the My IT Lab into Blackboard, okay? So make sure you have that in your notes about the way things show up in my grade. So now let's go back into chapter quizzes. So now that I've shown you here, chapter 1, and I took it, if I go back in, I can actually take it again. So just like the exams in My IT Lab for Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, you can take this multiple times. But here's what happens. And make sure this goes in your notes. The last one you take is the one that will be in your grade book. Okay, and it shows you here, you have completed the test, and you can start a new submission. So we'll start a new submission that says, give me another quiz. Now this quiz will most likely have different questions than one you took before, okay? But it's good to know these different questions because when you get to the final, you'll be better prepared for that. And again, this really teaches you and introduces you to many computer concepts that you need to know about. So for this one, I'm actually just going to hit save. Okay, save all answers. I haven't really done anything yet. Actually, maybe I should do a couple just because of what I'm about to show you. Okay. So I've done one quiz. I've started another. So let me go back into my grade. I'm going to leave this because I had already saved it. And this is Blackboard trying to say, hey, are you sure you want to do that? So now I'm going to scroll down, and in chapter 1, I see a grade for the last one that I submitted, but I also see that I have one in progress. So you need to make sure that before the due date, you have submitted your last one, okay? Because that's the one that will be in your grade book, okay? Meaning if this is your first attempt, this is your second attempt, okay? So make sure you submitted your second attempt and you're okay with it, right? Because if you're not okay with the score, you want to take it again because the last one you take is the one that shows up in your grade book for chapter quizzes. Now, I know this can be a little confusing, but let me just tell you, in the My IT Lab, I believe what shows up, and I'm going to double check this as we move, I think the highest one for your exam shows up. But right now in chapter quizzes, it is the last one. Maybe I'll change that to be more consistent. I tell you what, in your notes right now, and let me bring you back and talk to you, why don't you tell me which one you would prefer? Don't know if I'll do it, but that way I've known you've watched this video, and in here, in this item, would you want me to have the chapter quizzes operate the same as the My IT Lab that shows the highest one? So going back to the screen here, if you took 3 exams, you scored, the second one was the highest, I would then have Blackboard show that one. Right now it won't, okay? Okay, chapter quizzes. Again, I think I've talked about this quite a bit. So let's move on and talk about hands-on assignments because we started with this today, right? We started with the idea. As a matter of fact, let me just show you in my outline. Here's what we are going to do next. Is that I started with because we said who's in the house, but these other items really require you to do something where you show your work. So like in the second one, you're actually going to show, and so let me show you this, how this works too. When you click here, it's going to take you to a Google Doc, and inside this Google Doc, it's going to give you the instructions for how to do this. Okay, and here's a video to show you how to do this. But one thing I want to tell you is that most of these hands-on assignments require you to share either a photo or a print screen, you'll learn about print screens later, or something in the discussion board, okay? And this often means knowing how to do, so put this in your link, in your notes, something called a hyperlink, okay? So I'm just going to show you, and I'm not doing all the work for this one, I'm just really, because there's a video for this, I'm really showing you the concept of hyperlinking something. So there's 2 ways you can do it. So you can either use, I show in the video how to use Gmail. I am a huge Gmail advocate. You are going to need a Gmail account, so you might as well get one. Okay, you're going to need one anyway for the next topic I'll talk about. And honestly, the last topic I think I'll finish up for today. So in this case, you can do this. You can upload things here. So like that first assignment is you're going to need your photo and you'll do a file upload. I don't think I have any photos here on this computer. I should have gotten them, but I didn't. So let me just see if I have any. I'll just use something that's here. Now this would be, as an example, a photo of you. Again, I'm showing you Gmail's way, Google Docs' way. I went into my Gmail. I went into here, I went into Drive, and then once I upload that, if you look down here, you can hit share, and what you will do is, anyone can view, actually, I'm sorry, my bad, right here, get shareable link, okay, copy the link. And then in the Blackboard, you'll say, that's my link to my photo or whatever it is you're doing. I'm going to click on that, and then in here, you're going to paste that. And then always do this, open in a new tab, okay? So I'm going to go back. So in this case, I'm showing you just basically how to do a hyperlink because in many of the hands-on, and that should be in your notes, you'll need to know how to do a hyperlink. The process is the same no matter what you're linking. Okay, so if you're not going to use Gmail, which you don't require to use it for this particular part of our class, you can use your Office 365 that comes with your student accounts to do this. Let me show you here. In this case, you would come here and you go to OneDrive. So OneDrive, and you'll hear this in the videos, me talking about it, has something similar. Okay, so I think I have a screenshot. So here's a screenshot. So you would upload it, and then once you upload it, you share it. Now, the OneDrive works just a little bit differently, okay? So notice that's actually should have been a full print screen, and it's on my Mac, but no big deal. I'm going to hit share. So in this case, you're going to say get a link, right? And there we go, view only. We don't want to edit. I just want to see, it looks like this has changed just a little bit. So I would just say get a link. Right? And it used to have a shortener there. I'm not sure what happened. So in this case, I'd copy that and I would close, open to anyone with a guest link, right? So in this case, back to Blackboard, right? So this was the Gmail. So I'm going to do a hyperlink again, but this time I'm going to do it with Outlook or your campus email. So again, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go here. And by the way, I should say that you click on the little link, and that's a hyperlink. Open it in a new window here. So I talk about more, and let me bring you back for a second. In the hands-on, especially in the first one and the second one, because we do those week one, I really talk more about things to be careful of, like making sure you shared it correctly, making sure your hyperlinks work, stuff like that. So here I'm just really introducing you to the concept, because what you want to know is you want to either use your OneDrive, I know I went back to the screen, but your OneDrive or your Google, okay, in this example, because almost every one of these is going to require it. And honestly, let's just go back here. I'm going to hit Save as Draft. Because if I'm working on hands-on, who sees my work if I do a save as draft? And the answer is only you. But once you hit submit, everyone sees your work. So the reason I brought this, though, was to talk about the hands-on assignments, that there are 9 of them, right? Introduce your computer, file manager, task manager, technology purchased, networking commands, and create website. Well, this last one, even though it's the first one listed, again, don't worry about the order, is actually the one that requires you to have a Gmail account, okay? And that's really why I'm bringing this up, because I'm gonna now transition. Let's see if I've talked about hands-on. Oh, let me do this. Let me go to my grades. So again, what we can see here is in, scroll down further. Oh, here's what I was trying to find out, is I started working on, I just clicked into the week 2 my photo, right? And there's nothing in here. Let's see if you know the answer. Why isn't there anything in the in progress for my photo? You know why? See if you know it. So the answer is, why is there nothing? Because I just hit Save as Draft, right? And if I hit Submit here, let me go back in, right? So I'm going to go back in, I'm going to go to Photo, and I'm going to go down here and I'm going to see I have a draft. I'm going to hit Edit. And if I hit Submit, what will show up in my grade? Do you know the answer? If you've been paying attention and taking great notes, you know the answer by now. And even without looking, I could come over here and I could say, your experience, how many, oh, I should have this in there. How many replies are due, okay? So if there's replies due, then what would show up in my grade here for the photo is an in progress. And I need to modify this. I feel kind of bad now, but oh well, stuff happens. Should be 2 replies. Oh, reply here, change the photo. I think I said it. So, oh, I did say it down here. Good. I did say, I talked about doing replies, 2 replies to your fellow students. Okay. All right. We're at the end of this video. So we've talked about, in this case, we've talked about chapter quizzes, and we've talked about the hands-on assignment, and we've talked more about the grade book. Honestly, we're at the end of this, I think. I don't think I have anything. The last thing I'll talk about, oh good, is going to be the getting help and passes.